Today we're talking about the secrets as to how you're finally going to lock in Deen and Dunya. Aren't you tired of failing yourself, akh? Aren't you tired of always falling short when you want to progress in Deen and Dunya? Whether that means your craft, whether that means your training, whether that means your connection with Allah Azza wa Jal. I'm going to give you real information, real essential mindsets, essential information, essential step-by-steps bidnillah to help you with this transformation. So if you stick by me for the next 20-30 minutes, I'm going to give you all of that and show exactly how I did it on my journey of Islamic self-improvement so you can do it faster, inshallah, and finally lock in Deen and Dunya. Because when I locked in Deen and Dunya, I changed my life. Let's get into the video. The false excuse of time. I think one of the biggest things that destroyed my self-improvement and Islamic self-improvement, especially until September 2024, was that I believed I had no time. Like, I remember the beginning of 2024 when I really got on Islamic self-improvement, kind of like, I was still not the best, but I was there. I used to, like, rationalize, my nafs would rationalize that actually, I don't have enough time for sunnah salah. What do you mean you don't have enough time? How does shaitan get us to understand this? But yet we can scroll on TikTok and scroll on YouTube for, like, hours on end. Doesn't it feel weird that it's almost like a discipline to seek knowledge for 30 minutes? But if you watch a normal 30-minute video, it's like time flies. That's not normal. So you have the time, it's just that we're not using it correctly. Your problem with locking in is not about, you know exactly what you need to do. You watch these videos, right? And if you don't, watch all these videos in my channel, my Deen and Dunya trainings. If you don't know what to do, it's there. And if you want any help with doing that, I have a free 10x Deen and Dunya program that will 10x your Deen and Dunya in 30 days. So if you don't know what you're doing, that's there. It's free. It's for you. It's free. I do it to give value up front. So inshallah, if you want to get Annihilate Haram habits, you trust me. It's not about not having time. It's not about not knowing what to do. It's not about not having the discipline. You can be disciplined, right? Can't you play video games for 12 hours a day? You can be disciplined. You can be focused. Is that you think you have no time. Really, you're just wasting your time. The reality of your time is that you have 24 hours in a day. We know that, right? But it's weird. Like, I remember my whole life until, like, pretty much, not exactly yesterday, but, like, very recently when I've been experimenting with finally getting rid of my phone and social media and things like this from my lives. It's been insane. I didn't understand. When I actually really thought about it, I was like, I have spent every single day for the past 7.5 years since 2018 on social media, whether it's watching even more. I was still watching Dan TDM as a 10-year-old. I've been spending hours a day, at least specifically like every single day en route. Probably 2017 even. 2017, now it's 8.5 years. 8.5 years every single day after doing school, I'm on the iPad. I'm watching. I'm doing something on social media. That's crazy. Imagine all that time. I can't even imagine in hours how much that is. SubhanAllah. Imagine how much ibadah I could have done. What about you? Really think about the last few years. How much time have you just wasted just going on social media? I'm not even counting like throughout the day. Just after your school day or after your work day. Probably maybe half a year of time. I don't know. But probably a lot of hours. May Allah protect us. If you sleep for 7 hours, because we're not getting 8 hours of sleep, let's just be honest. We're young men. We're like 17 to 23. We're not getting 7 hours of sleep, although we should, inshallah. And you work for 8 hours a day, whether it's studying, university, school, you have 9 hours. 9 hours to progress in Deen and Dunya. So don't let shaitan lie to you and give you waswasa that you don't have enough time to seek knowledge, that today, man, you just gotta see, like even yesterday, because I had been working on my fun block, which I'll talk about a bit later, I was hearing waswasa justifying why I shouldn't watch my dars that I'm supposed to watch just because it's not in the right time or that it's taking too much time. What do you mean too much time? What else am I going to do in my life? My purpose is to worship Allah. How is worshipping Allah wasting time? What? No. This is waswasa. This is lies. And we accept those lies because it's easy than to do the hard work, than to get rid of the distractions. The reason you can't lock in Deen and Dunya is distraction. And that is what plagued my life for literally pretty much almost 4 years. That, like, until September 2024, when I'll tell you the secret as to how I got rid of it. But I wasted a lot of time, probably 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, maybe even 6 hours of my time just doing nothing. So like I said, my grind really stopped when I stopped taking excuses. I stopped saying that, and I took control of my entire time. The moment when I had the lowest screen times, the moment I have the lowest amount of free time, in the sense that I was not scheduled, When I scheduled every minute of the day, when I knew exactly what I was doing to in my free time, what I was reading, what I was doing, and what time I go to sleep, that's when things changed for me. When I was tracking every single habit and I was locked in my schedule and I was focusing on that 1% improvement, that's when I finally locked in Deen Dunya. And that's when I want to teach you the skills and even more secrets that help me now. Now, honestly speaking, if you're not locked in Deen and Dunya, you're a lab rat being used as a battery. How many? I think there's a few hundreds of millions of users on social media or watching TV. If you're not locking in, you're being used. So tell me, what pain is worse? Is the pain of being a battery for evil, whether it's evil in your life or evil in other people's lives, because you're giving these companies who are funding places, or not even just about the funding, it's more about the fact that they're just using your energy to push evil agendas of shaitan. You're funding shaitan's empire with energy and attention, or you're even helping your own evil. Because let's be honest, your Islamic FYP, Habibi, I've been there. Your Islamic FYP is filled with music in the edits. It's filled with broken nasheeds with bass under it. It's filled with pretty much music between them. Ads that have music. Pretty much all the time hijabi women. And even if there is, you're staring too long. A'udhu billah. And it's so volatile to get you to go to haram habits. And even worse, I'm convinced beyond doubt, the algorithm, if they know you're a man, they're gonna push women to you like you've never seen before. Even my Pinterest is supposed to have things for my thumbnails, and somehow there's just woman. I'm like, what? I search Islamic aesthetic guys. Maybe it should be the opposite, but it's shaitan's empire trying to get you to evil. So it's really, you're making a choice every single day, and I made this choice my whole life. So I'm not trying to bash you here. We make the choice because we've been programmed by shaitan's empire. And if you were to get my Annihilate Haram Habits course, which I promise will significantly decrease the haram habits that you do in 90 days, I go very much in depth as to how they've been programming us our whole lives. And especially, of course, how to get rid of these haram habits that we have. But ultimately, it's not life. It's not life. Like, I remember about when I started real Islamic self-improvement in about October, November 2023. I used to, every single day, and back in the day, for some reason, Islamic FYP on TikTok, back when, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect and allow the Muslims to succeed in Palestine. But that time when the war had started, right? And I remember just watching TikTok every single day, at least like 1-2 hours a day. What was I doing? I couldn't tell you I can't even remember what I was watching. There was like pretty much net zero benefit except for getting motivated by Islamic FYP edits of Sultan Mehmed and the Caliphate. Mate, watching edits about the Caliphate is not going to bring about the Caliphate. Becoming the Khalifa is going to bring the Caliphate. You watching videos like this, you watching and seeking knowledge of real Deen according to the Quran and the Sunnah, that's going to bring back the Caliphate, inshallah. Or that's at least going to bring some sense of izzah to the Muslims. You watching Islam is not, promise, I had these nafs, I'm sorry, not nafs, was on my head. Oh yeah, I'm getting motivated. No, you're not getting motivated. It's not life. Please understand that lahu is very much condemned in Islam. Like, it's not a thing that we should be doing. Don't you remember the 5 before 5 hadith where Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentions that there's 5 things you should take advantage of 5 before 5, and that basically one of them would be your youth before your old age, which we're not listening to. We're wasting our time of our youth. Like, man, the youth of Medina were seeking knowledge, praying the night prayer, and wanting to do jihad fi sabilillah. Look at what we're doing now. Man, what is it? Mus'ab ibn Umair, he was doing da'wah at like 14 years old or 15 years old. He went out to Medina to do da'wah. What are we doing now? We're wasting time watching, and I love watching da'wah, and it's a part of the da'wah that you watch it. But us watching arguments between the Muslims and the kuffar, unless you're doing it for a purpose, like I want to watch so that I can know how to do da'wah, what are we doing? Not even worse, we're wasting time watching women on TikTok. When Mus'ab ibn Umair was dying, fi sabilillah. What? That's youth before old age. I mean, we had Abdullah ibn Umar, who became a super seeking knowledge there. He did the night prayer all the time, followed the sunnah to a T. That is, that's how we're going to get some sense of success here in the Deen and Dunya. That's how. By following these youth and wasting your free time before you're busy. That's what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam also said. So we don't want to be of those who regret in the dunya and the akhirah. And you've read the Quran. you know when Allah Azza wa Jal is speaking about yani, the people who are kuffar, who get to the day of judgment and they talk about how they wasted their time and they didn't accept the message and they would go back and become Muslims and do good. We don't want to be like that. And none of us know where we're going. We have hope. We have fears. That's why we do things. But ultimately, I think we are very lax in thinking we're going to go to Jannah. And of course, it's a promise that's more intricate than that, but we technically don't know. So don't be of those who regret, because there are two bankrupt people. The first one is the one that I think is bankrupt, which I think society agrees, which is that you spend your entire life working a job for a garbage corporate that, you know, like that you don't even like. If you like that, that's different. And if it's halal. But if it's haram, you get interest on your house, you're wasting your time, you spend your entire life paying off that mortgage, you die without doing anything with your life as a kafir, even worse. But the second bankrupt person is the person who goes to Allah Azza wa Jalla on Yawm al-Qiyamah without enough good deeds to earn the mercy, or with nothing to present as a case for mercy. Do you want to be like that? Because you let your good deeds go and you keep scrolling and you see women and you hear music without even knowing, wasting your time instead of, seeking knowledge, instead of doing cool projects. And I'm not even saying that, you gotta be on that grind of it. Your grind, all you have to do is not waste time to lock in. I think Islamic self-improvement and self-improvement in general is very misunderstood. It is not just about David Goggins' grind. It is not just about sitting here and working forever. I think hustle culture and red pill, all this stuff kind of meshed. It's not right. It's not just about that. Islamic self-improvement is about progressing in Deen and Dunya, but ultimately getting rid of lahu and getting rid of haram. Again, if you want to significantly decrease your haram habits in 90 days, link in the description, the solution's there. Well, it's there. Like, I don't actually know what else I could have said to get rid of haram habits. And so, ultimately, doing things that are not lahu. Lahu is, honestly, when you have a net zero or a net negative. And most of the time it's net negative. On social media, it's a net negative. Because you are taking time to do haram. Because there is no social media algorithm with zero music. So then ultimately you're already doing haram. Let alone non-hijabis. Unless you have like 50 blockers on YouTube like I do. I only have one, alhamdulillah. It's called Undistracted. You can get it for free on Chrome. Inshallah, if it's in the description, it's there. If not, it's not. Right? There's no... It's just on Google. So that's really helping me. It's one blocker. You just turn on all the stuff. That you can at least use YouTube for its good purposes. But if you are using social media to just burn your time, like even recently I've been just wanting to burn my time. I go in my specific account that's for fun, for wasting time, and I just scroll. Not even watch videos. Just scroll for the dopamine. Man, subhanAllah, look at the human, man. We live in a crazy world, subhanAllah, honestly. So don't waste the potential we both know you have. I was there too. And I just want to finish that point of Islamic self-improvement is not just about training and working and studying and, deen and ibadah and these are the big parts. It's also about spending time with your family, doing new things, improving yourself. Improving yourself also means learning new skills. It means pursuing passion projects as long as they're halal. It means being artistic in the way that are halal. It means doing things with your life. If you're playing football outside, that's self-improvement to me. If you're playing football, of course, don't let it take away from your salah. Don't be dumb. But if you're playing football outside and you're not scrolling TikTok, I think you're doing just fine. You're exercising, right? You're having fun. I didn't say that rest was haram. I said that don't waste your time. Because the reason you won't lock in is wasting your time. If you can get rid of wasting your time, and yesterday was the first day that I follow my new fun block, jihad ul-nafs, right? So a part of my jihad ul-nafs is to get rid of every single lahu that exists completely, at least for the weekdays, right? And we'll talk about how the split works and locking Deen and Dunya in the next chapter of this video. But at least for the weekdays, man, I just want to get rid of it because it's not even life. And so I've had this fun block where I wrote a list of things, and I don't know if I'll put it in the description, but it'll probably be in the next few videos of these. Another one called How to Make Your Day So Fun You Can't Even Scroll, something like that. But I just look at the list of things that I can do that is not scrolling, that is fun, and I go do them. Yesterday I was working on, I read fiction, right? If you know me, I read fiction recently, a lot more, and also it's in the side if you see my videos. But I've always had an idea of, writing, and I've always been tired of that, and I actually got to actually finally, like, I had this idea of a book or a short story to write, and I don't want to reveal too much. It's pretty cool, inshallah. I'll tell this soon or in the second channel. But I finally did it. I wrote an entire storyboard. That means like the beginning from zero story to the end of the story. In like, I ideated that in like one day. Just because, and I had read a quarter of a book, and I went to go spend time with my family, and I came back and slept at the right time, and I seek knowledge. I did everything just because I got rid of lahu. That's how powerful it is. You will lock in automatically. You will do things that are productive automatically, because productivity, all you have to think is, does it have a net positive in my deen and dunya? Anything that doesn't have these two things, what's the point? Even better if it positives both, right? That's something like a business with the right intention, or studying with the right intention. So no more. You're not locking deen and dunya just because you're wasting time. You're being a battery for the kuffar, a battery for shaitan. So let's go. Protocol to finally lock in deen and dunya. First principle is systems over goals. Now, I'm not saying don't have goals. You should have like relative goals, and I have, if you want, an entire goal lesson. It's about 30 minutes or so in my free 10x Deen and Dunya program down below, where you can 10x your Deen and Dunya in 30 days. That's over there. I also have Islamic discipline. So please, if you want extra resources, all of them are there. Like my best videos I've ever created that I spent a week just for one video, just researching and making like basically mini courses in there. It's all available for as free course. It will just help you with the specific point of locking in Deen and Dunya and give you everything you need, inshallah. I do this again just to gain your trust, because I don't want to be the type of guy who just offers you stuff without showing you that, inshallah, I can be of value. So, systems over goals. Implement your systems as the caliph for your mission and purpose to prosper. Now, your mission is to be the khalifa, is to be the deputy on this earth, right? To build for the sake of uplifting the ummah, for the sake of uplifting humanity. That's your job, ultimately. And ultimately, really, the mission is to become a rajul, right? A man. And now that, of course, is very multifaceted, and ultimately your missions progress in dunya, right? For the sake of, somewhat pushing that towards pleasing Allah Azza wa Jalla. And I've covered this in a lot of different trainings like this. I think there's a playlist on my channel with Deen and Dunya trainings. I speak a lot about this. It's a very powerful mindset that will change a lot, inshallah. Check that out. That's what. And your purpose is to worship Allah Azza wa Jalla. So implement systems, because systems are based on goals loosely, right? So if you want to seek knowledge, that's a goal. Now a system seeking knowledge is 30 minutes a day. So for me, I have a specific little board over there where I have like a timetable, and a system is a timetable, right? So get a timetable or like a schedule basically, and in that schedule you are going to implement a system. A system is a daily breakdown to a goal. It's that daily move for 1% that you need in the Deen and Dunya. Ultimately, one of the things for me, a system for seeking knowledge, is 30 minutes a day. And try start with something that is manageable, because that I know. Hour a day is what I'm aiming for. Inshallah, in the future I'm going to do it. But I know 30 minutes a day, every single day for this entire year, inshallah, I'm going to seek knowledge 5 days a week. And we'll talk about this now, right? At least. Imagine what you'll be. And you think that these small things, these small systems, they build up. In a week, how much is that? Let's say 5 days times 30. 5 times 3 is 5 times 15. It's like I don't know, 150 minutes. I'm too lazy. Point is like basically like 4 hours or so of seeking knowledge. That's a lot of knowledge that you didn't know before. Now you know. And system for work would be deep work sessions with things that you actually have to do, whether it means to study by using practice exams, the highest leverage thing, or whether it means for me recording videos in the morning, or whether it means, maybe a system for getting to Jannah exists, bro. The system for getting to Jannah is following Islam, right? And striving in Islam. That's the system, right? We follow it. So that's what we need. Now, you just craft those systems every single day. I have other videos to talk about it, inshallah, that are incoming. But okay. The twin cycles of elite performance versus hustle culture. When you're locking in Deen and Dunya, it is not that because I've gone through this, especially recently. When I was recording the course, right, Annihilate Haram Habits, I probably spent December, January, February, March, like 4 months exclusively scripting, recording, and editing this. And in the last I'm on a gap year, so I've just been doing that. And in the last few weeks or month, I would spend like 7 hours a day doing serious grind, right? And I was burning out quick. because I also fell into some level of like hustle culture in the sense that like I wanted to do well in business, inshallah. And alhamdulillah, I did finish it when I wanted to, but it was too much. It was not sustainable. And so I've been trying to find, and I think all of us try and find with different, self-improvement YouTubers, what is the kind of balanced way of going about this. Now, I read a book called The 5 a.m. Club, and I think that they do pretty well in terms of the way you balance it. So the author calls it the twin cycles of elite performance. So the point is you take 5 days a week where you just grind Deen and Dunya. Meaning like, and inshallah the goal is, and we'll talk about that, but the goal is to have your discipline of being undisciplined or your free time to be like no wasting time at all. Zero net zeros and zero net negative activities, right? From the moment you wake up to the moment you sleep. Isn't that sick? That's the goal. 5 days a week, continuous grind. 2 days a week, right? But you can choose Friday or Saturday, or you can choose Saturday and Sunday, depending on where you are in the world. And you can just chill. Like, I'm not even saying that, of course, like, don't do anything haram. And I'm not even saying, like, you should scroll. In time, your goal should be still not scrolling, right? But honestly, if you want to go over to a friend's house and play Minecraft, I won't hit you there, right? Because you've been grinding, right? So that's what I mean. These type of things, or you want to act like a kid, that type of stuff, that's what you should be doing on the weekend, inshallah. Where you hold all this energy that you want to waste time with or you want to do fun with. And we'll still talk about having free time in the week just now. But in terms of the weekend, that's when you can take like all that energy. And I used to do this at school. I'm doing it now where it's like, I wanted to play video games every single day at school. But my mom forced me to do it on the weekends. And that was like one of the best parenting things I've ever seen in my life. Like that changed my life. It was amazing. But every single day I would think about it, and maybe I would watch YouTube videos about, use Minecraft. But on the weekend, when I woke up on Saturday, and last weekend was the first time I woke up on Saturday, and even though I didn't play any games, I felt like a kid. And I'll speak more about that in the next few Deen and Dunya trainings that are coming out. But I felt like a kid, man. I felt like, whoa, it's Saturday. Like I haven't felt that excited because I had all this energy and this excitement and this dopamine building up from the week of working so hard that I earned the weekend. And it's not like I'm saying I earned the weekend to like scroll for 7 hours. No, because no one likes that. But if you have a game that you're really excited to play, don't play every single day. Don't be a gamer. But on that weekend, play video games. You see the difference? A gamer plays every day. It's a habit. It's an identity. When you play video games, you just enjoy playing video games. It's different. It's disconnected. And that's how it's been. Like recently, me and a brother have been playing Minecraft almost like not exactly every single weekend, but when we do on the weekend, it's sick. And it's not, I get tired after a while, but like that's the point. Try and be have that free time and the 2-day rest and the 5-day week. Progressing Deen, progressing Dunya, grind. Do not waste time. Really push that tank. Like progressive overload for your day. And then in terms of your days, it's the same thing. You have this kind of inequitable balance where you have 80% of the days progressing Deen and Dunya. So from the moment it's 5 a.m., at least right now is what I'm running, 5 a.m. to about 4:30, I'm progressing in Deen and Dunya. Like exclusively, there's not a moment of rest. I'm on the clock. Actually, right now I am on the clock. It's a new productivity system I'm doing with alarms, right? To like get me exactly on the moment. I'm not wasting a moment on that grind, Deen and Dunya. And the last 20% of my day, from about 4:30 to about 9:30, I have my fun block or the discipline of being undisciplined. Back in the day, which is what you should do. I don't think it's gonna be as like I would recommend you do what I'm doing, but if you can't, then do this. Well, the discipline of being undisciplined is giving yourself a block of time to waste your time, because either you're gonna waste your time throughout the day, or you're gonna say, hey, for this amount of hours, I'm on the grind. This amount of hours, you can do whatever you want. It's the same type of exciting culture. So if you want to watch TV, you want to waste your time on YouTube, at least choose like 3 hours at the end of the day and you do it there. At least you contain your nafs and its desire to waste your time. And over time, you work on that discipline of being undisciplined and discipline it more and more and more. Like I have, alhamdulillah, and I'm really working on that now. And it's been amazing. Like in terms of my productivity, the fact that I got myself to I think it's been like 3 or 4 months that I've been doing this discipline of being undisciplined, and it's been changing the way that I progress. So if you're gonna waste time later, not now. Now you need to do things. Get all your ibadah done that you need to do in terms of seeking knowledge, in terms of Quran, in a specific time slot, in terms of progressing in dunya, training, school, studying, all of this, that time, and then give your time out, right? So that's how we do in the day. It's the same thing. And then part-time commitment equals part-time results. Please understand that what I'm giving you is a system that you should be pumping majority of the time. If you do part-time commitment, if you want to, waste your time throughout the day, and we're all human, we have different things, but For the most part, if you want to waste your time throughout the day and you still want to pull up your phone and you still want to do like literally 80% of the day, just take your phone, put it in a different room. Last hour, do whatever you want. Batch it, really. That's really been what's changing me. And when you do that, when you take a full-time commitment to progressing in Deen and Dunya, right? For a specific allotted time, a specific allotted days, then you can have that rest fine. But if you give that part-time commitment, you're always going to get part-time results in the Deen, the Dunya, and may Allah protect us in the Akhirah. So we don't want that. We don't want part-time results. We want full-time, real, hardest results. And that means grinding hard when we need to and getting off when we need to. And next is going to be, don't be egotistical, it will work. Have tawakkul. You know, one of the things that I used to say is like don't let shaitan tell you that it's not going to work, that you're progressing in your goals and your Deen and Dunya is not going to work. He's just lying to you. If he can lie to you and say that Allah will never forgive you, he's lying to you. Or if he says that you'll never succeed in whatever Deen and Dunya venture you have, he's lying to you. He doesn't want you to be successful, because if you are a Muslim and you are striving to be the caliph that you were made to be, you're striving to be a man, right? The deputy in the earth, to be a man, then your resources will only be used for one thing, khair, right? So why would shaitan want you to succeed? This is what's supposed to have tawakkul. Allah is going to help you if you grind, right? There's universal laws of how things work, but of course, bidnillah, everything will happen, and no one is coming, it's just you and Allah. And so ultimately tawakkul is, as Ibn Qudama says, is taking the means and trusting Allah Azza wa Jal. So take the means as far as you can, as to what is logical, right? Take the means, like learn and grind and strive and whatever you want to do. There's even taking the means for getting to Jannah, right? It's not like you just say, oh Allah, please. I'm not trying to put a cap on Allah, but there's a general principle here. If you do the things that are right consistently, take the means, trust Allah, make dua. That's it. No one is coming, it's just you and Allah. Honestly speaking, akhi, you can watch this entire video, but locking in Deen and Dunya comes from you, and no one is coming to lock in for you. It's only you. You are the only one who can lock in for yourself. So please, it's just you and Allah. Create that connection with Allah. Make dua. Get close to Allah. Ask Him for help. Because no one is coming. Either you're going to do this work and rely on Allah, and you ask for Allah and you ask for support, or no one's going to do the work. No one's ever going to do the work for you in the Deen and Dunya, and ultimately to achieve success in this life and the next. And inshallah, if you could subscribe, we have a mission to annihilate weakness and men in the males of the Ummah, and that's why we have all these three things. And yeah, jazakallah khair, and wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.